Greetings, welcome to Dubrovnik, Old Town here in Croatia.
Lovely town, crowded as all hell.
One thing I've noticed since arriving here in Old Town Dubrovnik, there are more ATM machines I've seen today than I've seen in the 2 months I've been traveling.
Okay, we're rolling into Dubrovnik right now, and we've got this Dubrovnik bridge. Looks like there is a, what do you call it? A military ship down there. I thought I saw one sailing off the coast here as well, but of course you've got a cruise ship. What's interesting about Dubrovnik, as far as my understanding goes, bungee jumping. Okay, so they do bungee jumping off of this bridge. There you go. Should we do that? Yeah, why not? Dubrovnik Old Town. I saw a bus roll into the Molly Stone earlier today, and on it said Dubrovnik City Tour, and then in the logo font of the hit HBO series Game of Thrones, apparently a lot of the scenes are filmed here in Dubrovnik, in the Old Town. So it's gotten a new injection of popularity to tourists as a result. I'm staying a little south town, kick back today, and then get an early start in the morning and go spend a day in the Old Town, I think. The beautiful Dalmatian coast, south of Dubrovnik, Croatia. Got a lot of cars on the road. There's not a lot of room, there's no shoulder, occasional bus stop. Some of the bus stops actually have elevators that take you down to the sea below. But every once in a while a car decides to stop and turn on maybe a little taverna, or maybe there is a hotel tucked in here, and then everything shuts down. People need to pay attention, not be paying attention to their devices or looking over the gorgeous Adriatic, like I was doing, when all of a sudden everybody stopped and I had to grab a handful and break. So, note to self, watch it. There's the old town of Dubrovnik. Just leaving after spending a couple nights in the area here, the Riviera they call it. So I guess I've been on the Albanian Riviera, and now I've been on the Croatian Riviera. Little community south. But, you know, Dubrovnik, I think we got some good pictures of it.
From the clock tower in the center square of Dubrovnik, the bells are ringing. It's 6 o'clock. We're approaching magic hour here in the old town of Dubrovnik, here on the Croatian coast, the Adriatic. Pretty cool, like in the walls. It's hard not to notice those iconic bright orange terracotta roof tiles. Well, in 1667, this town was demolished by the Great Earthquake. And then in the 1990s, the Yugoslav army destroyed it again, causing these to be rebuilt after the war. So it's pretty hot here. Jumping in that Adriatic looks pretty appetizing. Yeah, I guess if you're looking for intruders, this is probably where you hang out. Greetings, welcome to Dubrovnik Old Town here in Croatia, southern coast. You might notice next to me some things you see in most cities, ATM machines. Well, one thing I've noticed since arriving here in Old Town Dubrovnik, there are more ATM machines I've seen today than I've seen in the 2 months I've been traveling. I think there's more ATMs here in this old town, which is not that big, than Athens. Right off across the way, we've got an ATM over here, and right over here, I got another 2. Making cash with cash, I guess. The bats of Dubrovnik. They started about 10 minutes ago. Just making a racket. Everybody's looking down. Time to look up.
Lovely town, crowded as all hell. I was actually there last night, yesterday afternoon. I got there at about 5, and it was quieter than it was today. Apparently, 3 cruise ships rolled in with about 9,000 people, all landing and crushing the town and its resources and space. That's why there was one cruise ship parked in the harbor, in the small harbor, last night when I arrived. Today I didn't. There was another cruise ship, different one, parked in the small harbor, but I don't see the big harbor. I never went out there. But I did see people wearing little stickers with a picture of a boat and a number on them. That's how they can identify. I mean, with all the cruise ships here, how do you know where you are, who you are, what boat you're on, how to find the boat to take you back out to your boat, how do you find a taxi or the shuttle that takes you back to the boat that takes you to your boat. My goodness. Okay, this is the big port right down here, I guess. I'm seeing it for the first time. You get the idea. Cruise ships mean people. And I look at them. Here you go. You'll get a shot of these. It's a real wide-angle lens, I know, but you'll see these things just to my my left here. The cruise ships descend upon this town. There you go. And I took the water taxi into Dubrovnik twice, last night and then today, because I missed a tour. I wanted to get the tour. And anyway, as we cruised by the ships both times, 2 different ships, one last night in the little harbor and one today in the little harbor, I looked at them and I mean, look at this. Can you think of anything that would be more miserable than being on that or that? Or that? If the Maritimers, the sailors, wow, okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you add, I guess it's 5 ships today, because you add the one in the little harbor. 5 cruise ships today, so something like 10,000 people in one day running through that little town. And then you have what I think are exclusive small yacht tours of the Adriatic. There was one last night that had a helicopter on it. It had another boat that had to be 40 or 50 feet that would shuttle people in. It was small enough to get into that smaller harbor where there's not as much, the water depth is pretty shallow there, so that's why the bigger cruise ships can't come in there. But this Radiant boat had a helicopter on it, and I think it might have had 2 of these 50-foot boats, but it certainly had, more than probably 10 or 20 rooms on it. So my guess is this is either some real rich magnate who's taking his family and friends out for an Adriatic cruise, or it's something that people can take as a little bit more exclusive than being on one of those big buses. Anyway, that's the story from Dubrovnik as I make my way back to the Pelishak to really get into the wine region. I didn't have a chance there before.
This is Alan. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.